Good afternoon, everyone. We're here in the Skincare Center, where we have as our lovely guest today, Kelsey. Say hi to our audience, Kelsey.
Hi.
And Kara, our world-class esthetician, who's going to be performing a procedure today called microneedling. A very scary name for a very, very gentle and wonderful procedure. Microneedling has actually been probably the #1 most popular plastic surgery procedure performed in the United States for probably about the past, I want to say maybe 4 or 5 years. Why did it get so popular? Why is it so popular? Because, for one reason, it really works. For another reason, very easy to do. It's also relatively inexpensive. It has almost no risk or downside, almost no recovery, no downtime. And the effects that come from microneedling are often nothing short of spectacular. Microneedling has, to a very great extent, replaced a lot of the laser procedures. Karen, remember when people used to get laser procedures all the time, laser resurfacing, which some people have described as having a blowtorch applied to your face? The results from laser procedures, still pretty popular by the way, also good results, but tremendous downtime, lots of risk, side effects, recovery issues, etc. So imagine having a procedure that could give you essentially the same results as we saw for lasers in years past, but without any of those issues. That's microneedling. Well, what does it really do? Who needs it? Microneedling is a procedure which can smooth the skin. Sometimes people have a texture to their skin which they might describe as weathered or rough. This can include fine lines, wrinkles, and it's not just a visual textural issue, but also a touch issue. When you touch the skin, it has a rough feel or not a smooth feel. Microneedling helps this. Microneedling gives a better overall color and more even complexion to the face. Microneedling restores some body and firmness to the face. Microneedling smooths, firms, and rejuvenates the skin. And here's the best part. It doesn't do it by burning the skin. It doesn't do it by frying the skin, freezing the skin, cutting the skin, none of those things. The amazing thing is that microneedling works by tricking the skin into producing its own collagen, increasing that collagen production in a way that creates all the changes we talked about. So the face doesn't look better simply in appearance. It looks better because it really is better. And it's actually the body doing all of this on its own. Why is it called microneedling? Well, I don't know, that's a bad name. Because it does involve extremely small needles, and these needles are used in a special machine. We have one that it's called the Skin Pen. It's my favorite one, it's the best one. And they're extremely tiny needles which, when applied to the face, create this collagen production stimulation, in that the needles themselves make the skin think it's been injured. And that's what kind of triggers the whole collagen production mechanism. But the skin really hasn't been injured. It's just been fooled by this needle application. Kind of feels like a buzzing on the face. Most people say it feels like a vibration. Again, an unfortunate name, but really quite a comfortable procedure, like a vibration being applied to the face. So Kelsey, that's what it's going to kind of feel like kind of a buzzing. People have said, oh, does it feel like a tattoo? I got a tattoo, because they hear about the needles. You know what? That's much, much more painful than microneedling is. And so if you've ever had a tattoo or heard about anyone getting a tattoo, it's nothing like that. It's much, much more comfortable. And Kara will do this microneedling procedure today, and then what, in about a week or two? How often do you like to repeat the procedure?
Every 2 weeks,
right.
2 to 3 weeks.
And the reason we repeat these procedures is because each time the application of this microneedling procedure, or we call it microneedling skin rejuvenation, each time the microneedling is performed, the collagen ramp up takes as its takeoff point the ramp up that occurred the 2 weeks prior. So if you think about, okay, I'm going to go back to my gym example. If you go to the gym once and do a workout, does it do you any good? Yeah, but if you don't go back, you're going to kind of lose the benefits of that. On the other hand, if you go to the gym a couple of times a week, each workout that you do feeds a little bit off the previous workout, right? So microneedling is sort of like that. Each session that you do gets another level of ramp up of that collagen production. And it turns out, after people studying this for a lot of years, that it's about 6 or maybe 8 sessions to get the maximum benefit of the stimulation from the procedure. When do you start to see the results? Kara?
Well, anywhere from a week to 2 weeks after your first treatment.
Right, so very early on, you'll start to see your skin changing, and you should see the patients walking around this office. Once they start seeing those changes, they're like, da 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 da, look at my face. Because really, you can see those changes right away. Here's the next part. Let's say you do 6 treatments, you do 8 treatments. How long after that does your skin keep improving? Is it the next couple of weeks, the next couple of months? Take it, Kara, how long?
Could be up to a year.
So the skin is on this automatic pilot where it's still improving itself for many months after your last treatment. So even when people see how their face looks within that first month or 2, when they see how their face looks after month 3, month 4, long after they've stopped their treatment, the face is still improving. And one of the coolest things is watching someone go, look at my face, and then touching it like this. They just love to touch it, love the feel of it. Anyway, a wonderful procedure with tremendous results, natural results, microneedling. Kara, take it away. Kelsey is now your work of art.
Thank you.
Awaiting. So Kara's putting a little more of this this gel to provide some comfort. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the skin pen. You can see, I don't even think that the cameras can even pick up. The needles are so tiny. And it makes like will make like a buzzing sensation on Kelsey's skin. And she's going to go over every part of Kelsey's face. But when she finds an area that has, I don't know, let's say it's a little rougher looking or has a few more lines, or maybe the pores are a little bit more large, or the skin is a little bit more uneven, or the color's a little bit more even. What I'm doing a very bad job of explaining is wherever there needs to be a little extra done, Kara will spend a little extra time on that area. So sometimes we'll have patients who have a few more lines around their lips, or they might have a few more acne scars. Microneedling can be done for all the things we've talked about, but it can also be used for areas of scarring or irregularity on the face from things like acne or even other issues. And we've had some people that have had some pretty tough scars of the face where that microneedling has just essentially erased them. But again, it didn't erase them by doing some kind of injury. It erased them by making the body, in effect, fix it itself, which is like amazing, beautiful. In terms of side effects or complications, this type of procedure is safe for all skin types, all races, all backgrounds, all colors. There's no risk to a change in pigmentation, although quite the opposite, there's actually a pretty good chance that if there's uneven pigmentation, the microneedling will actually help even that out. So a very good benefit. I think another benefit, which is actually somewhat unique to microneedling, which you cannot see with almost any other form of treatment, is pore tightening. You know, lasers cannot tighten the pores, facelifts can't do it, chemical peels can't do it. But again, because of this collagen stimulation, one of the tougher problems, large pores or the tightening of pores, or if there's like a somewhat of a cobblestone appearance to the skin, microneedling is really the only treatment I know of that actually works. Microneedling is one of those types of procedures where I guess you could kind of tell from the way I was describing its benefits. It can have benefits for somebody who has pretty significant skin damage, but it also can be extremely helpful to someone like Kelsey, who really does not have a lot of damage, but does have some issues that she wants corrected. And the application of this technology allows us to be able to do things from, you know, in the entire range of people with different types of problems. Again, a lot of times on noses is one particular area where pores are often a concern. There's nothing like microneedling for that type of a problem. It's really fantastic. Can you feel your collagen being stimulated already?
Absolutely.
Oh, that is wonderful. Wait, let me hear. Oh yeah, it's happening. Well, thank you for watching, everybody, and hopefully one day we get to see you and talk about how microneedling might be able to help you, and you'll get to meet Kara. Thanks, Kara.
Thanks, Dr. Beck.
Thank you, Kelsey.
Thanks, Kelsey.